I'm just telling you, he's against Kamala Harris.
I wonder, did he say that you should have voted
Yes,
for Kamala Harris?
he did it. He didn't support Kamala Harris. He straight up said maybe I shouldn't even like. He on stream. He's like, oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna like support her. He doesn't admit who he's voting for. He's illiberal. That's all I'm gonna say. I just want you to know that.
Hassan is MAGA of the left?
Yes.
Listen, why do you think that? And I mean that genuinely, not to debate you, because I'm like, I don't have my viewpoints solidified. I just want to
Did you
know your
finish the
position.
content nuke?
No, I haven't done that on stream yet. I'm gonna stream it, and I haven't done that yet.
Well, you should do that. He's gonna tell you, oh, it's out of context. If it's out of context, you should ask him, what's the context? Because that's his mo. He's gonna tell you, oh, it's out of context, or oh, this is they're misrepresenting me. You should ask him, what is the
Okay.
context? What is the proper representation?
Okay, and I promise that these next questions are I'm asking them from a place of like genuineness, right? Like I just want to like ask a set of questions. Is that okay?
Go for it.
Do you support Palestine?
Do I support Palestine?
Yeah.
I support a two-state solution to some extent, yes.
So like that wasn't a direct yes.
Okay, so you might say, oh, there's some bias here, but you could be a pro-Palestine. You could be in favor of Palestine and not be a terrorist sympathizer like Hassan.
No. I listen. I understand like what you're saying, but I guess like I've just seen a trend of people that like don't like Hassan not being pro Pally, which makes me like think that
Yeah,
a
I get
lot of
that.
like let me just finish here. That makes me think that like a lot of the claims made against him is kind of made out
Well,
of
because
like
I'm a
an
liberal. You're a
ideological
liberal too.
separation.
You understand Hassan is
But
illiberal.
but but like I don't
Hassan
want
does
that
not
to
support
diminish
Kamala
like
Harris.
any like research that I'll do on Hassan, right? Because it's still possible for you to like be a raging Zionist calling Hassan pro-terrorism, and like with while
It's
Hassan
absolutely
actually
true.
is
I'm not denying
pro-terrorism,
it's not
it's
true.
possible. But I'm just saying, we see a trend of like people that are very like anti-leftist, like anti-Palestine, kind of holding these beliefs. But I'm gonna watch the content nuke on stream, okay?
Okay, I'm just telling you, he's against Kamala Harris.
I wonder, did he say that you should have voted
Yes,
for Kamala
he
Harris?
did it. He didn't support Kamala Harris. He straight up said maybe I shouldn't even like. He on stream. He's like, oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna like support her. He doesn't admit who he's voting for. He's illiberal. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I guess I according to a lot of people in the chat, he never said that. I will say that I think it's fair for like an individual to be like, you know, Biden and Harris perpetuated a lot of bad things, especially like in Palestine. Um, but of course, I would ultimately support the conclusion that everyone should have voted for Kamala Harris. I think that Hassan should have voted for Kamala Harris. I think that everybody should have voted for Kamala Harris. I'm in a weird place right now with like my own political ideologies. I feel like I'm right between the liberal and the leftist. You know what I mean? I'm right between the liberal and the leftist, which is an interesting position to be in. But listen, here's what I want to say. I'm gonna finish watching the content nuke because if like Hassan has done bad things, I'm not gonna be sympathetic to that. I think that it's important that we call out people, even those that I will personally say have done really good things for me and many of others, like Hassan. And I think Hassan has absolutely been a net positive for like an impact on younger white guys in America, pushing them further to the left. But if he's done bad things, I think that everyone should call that out. If anything, it's really important to call that out. So, it's less likely he does more bad things in the future, if that makes any sense. And that applies to, kind of like everybody with a platform, me, Parker, everybody. I'd say that for anybody. But, I want to finish watching the content nuke. But what I will say is I do just see like a correlation between people hating on Hassan and not being pro Pally. I do see that. I do see that. But of course, I can't say that the only reason they hate on Hassan is because they're not pro Pally until I finish the content nuke. It's possible that they have valid reason. And there's only one way to figure out, which is to finish watching that damn video. And I already see people calling me a glazer, okay? Don't call me a glazer. I'm being honest, right, about my perspective of that conversation. Like, it really validated a lot more of that leftist perspective for me. And I guess I've never really considered, you know, like the academics behind like a more progressive position than even one that I hold. How many more strokes? You're clearly glazing. It's embarrassing. I loved you before that. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I will give you ukulele in tears for saying that in the conversation I had with him, he seemed educated on some of the things he talked about. I'm so sorry. Ukulele in tears. All right. But, you know, like in the first 10 minutes of the nuke that I watched, he said like 9/11 was deserved or some shit. Like that's like crazy, right? Like that's fucking nuts, right? Like right? Like that's kind of that's really crazy, right? That's insane. Yeah. A lot of people say it's out of context. And I say this in a very genuine sense. What's the context?